Welcome gamers, my name is Ollie, this is the Beanstalk Gaming channel, and this is our top 10 Cyberpunk games of all time. Let's go! Number 1. Syndicate, 1993 version. This is one of my all-time favorite games, first played back in the day on my Amiga 500. Released in 1993 by Bullfrog Productions, Syndicate is a real gem that set the tone for cyberpunk gaming. If you're a fan of strategy and dark dystopian settings, this one's for you. The game plunges you into a future controlled by mega corporations, where you're the one pulling the strings. You lead a team of augmented agents, commanding them to undertake missions that range from assassinations to full-on corporate warfare. It's all about manipulating your way to the top in a world dominated by high-tech and low morales. Don't be fooled by its age. The pixelated graphics and moody chiptune soundtrack only add to its timeless allure. The gameplay is intense and tactical, requiring you to think several steps ahead. Every decision counts, and every mission feels like a high-stakes operation. What sets Syndicate apart is its groundbreaking approach to world-building and player choice, a staple in modern games, but a real innovation for its time. So if you want to know where a lot of today's cyberpunk tropes originated, do yourself a favor and dive into Syndicate. Number 2. The Deus Ex Series. Developed by Ion Storm and later by Eidos Montreal, this series is like a buffet of everything you want in a cyberpunk title. Stealth, hacking, dialogue options, and an expansive skill tree that genuinely affects how you approach the game. Set in a world plagued by conspiracy theories, political intrigue, and technological advancement that begs the question, just because we can, does it mean we should? Deus Ex doesn't shy away from challenging moral and ethical quandaries. You step into the augmented shoes of agents like JC Denton and Adam Jensen, fighting your way, or talking your way, through a labyrinthine plot. What makes the series shine is its commitment to player freedom. Sure, you could go in guns blazing, but why not hack a security terminal and turn the enemy's turrets against them? Or maybe find a secret underground passage to bypass the guards entirely? The game rewards you for exploring and approaching problems from different angles. The game blends real-world issues like income inequality, mass surveillance, and ethical transhumanism into its story, giving you a lot to chew on long after you've put the controller down. If you want a game series that gives you a rich world to explore, complex issues to ponder, and the freedom to play your way, the Deus Ex series is a must-play. Number 3. Cyberpunk 2077. Developed by CD Projekt Red, was one of the most hyped games in recent memory, and despite some initial hiccups, it's now a standout in the genre. Built on the legacy of the studio's previous hit series, The Witcher, this title aimed to redefine what an open-world RPG could be in a cyberpunk setting. Set in the sprawling Night City, a place teeming with neon lights, towering skyscrapers, and gritty back alleys. You play as V, a mercenary navigating a world where mega corporations hold all the cards. Whether you're tracking down cybernetic implants, wheeling and dealing with shady characters, or just cruising through the city in your custom ride, the game promises and delivers a lot of freedom. Your choices, from your background story to dialogue options, impact the narrative in meaningful ways, a feature that remains one of the game's strong suits. Night City feels alive, buzzing with activity, random encounters, and intricate side quests that can sometimes steal the show from the main storyline. From the bustling markets of Japantown to the desolate landscapes of the Badlands, each district offers a distinct flavor and atmosphere. Yes, the game had its share of launch issues, but patches and the recent 2.0 update have gone a long way in polishing the experience. If you're looking for a deep, expansive, and utterly captivating cyberpunk world to lose yourself in, Cyberpunk 2077 is a journey worth taking. Number 4. Satellite Reign. Developed by 5 Live Studios, this game serves as a spiritual successor to Syndicate, and boy, does it deliver. In Satellite Reign, you find yourself in a sprawling, open-world cityscape that's as vibrant as it is corrupt. Just like in Syndicate, you're in charge of a team of agents with varying skills, from hacking to heavy artillery, as you plot to overthrow a mega corporation ruling the city. The game's neon-lit urban environments are eye-catching, but it's the tactical depth that'll keep you hooked. Each agent can be customized with various cybernetic upgrades, weapons, and gear, giving you a ton of options for how you tackle each mission. The real nod to Syndicate comes in the form of its squad-based tactics and real-time gameplay. You control your agents simultaneously, coordinating their actions for maximum efficiency, or chaos, depending on your playstyle. One of the standout features of Satellite Reign is its cooperative multiplayer mode, allowing you and a friend to tackle the game's challenges together. Double the agents, double the fun, right? So if you're nostalgic for that Syndicate vibe, but want a modern twist, Satellite Reign should be right up your alley. It captures the essence of what made its predecessor great, while adding layers of depth and complexity that make it a standout title in the cyberpunk genre. Number 5. The Shadowrun series. Initially based on a tabletop RPG, the Shadowrun video games have carved out their own niche in the cyberpunk world. Developed by different studios over the years, including Harebrained Scheme's notable contributions, these games offer a rich tapestry of storytelling and tactical gameplay. In Shadowrun, the future is not just high-tech, it's also high magic. Imagine a world where elves in trench coats broker deals in dark alleys, dwarven hackers infiltrate high-security databases, and dragons run mega-corporations. Yes, you heard that right, dragons as CEOs. Gameplay-wise, Shadowrun is primarily known for its turn-based tactical combat. You assemble a team of Shadowrunners, specialists in various fields like hacking, magic, and gunplay. How you approach each mission is entirely up to you. The game encourages you to use the environment to your advantage, whether that's hacking into security systems to disable cameras or using magical spells to gain the upper hand. The games are rich with lore, complex characters, and branching narratives. Your choices matter here, affecting not just the mission outcomes, but also your relationships with other characters and the world at large. In a nutshell, if you want a cyberpunk experience that goes beyond the usual tropes and injects some magical flair into the mix, the Shadowrun series is a journey worth embarking on. Number 6. System Shock 2. Developed by Irrational Games and Looking Glass Studios and released in 1999, this game was way ahead of its time. Often hailed as the spiritual predecessor to the BioShock series, System Shock 2 blends elements of first-person shooting, RPG mechanics, and atmospheric storytelling to craft an experience that's both thrilling and terrifying. You wake up aboard the starship Von Braun, and you quickly realize something's horribly wrong. The crew is either dead, mutated, or worse, and the AI system governing the ship, Shodan, has her own malevolent plans. This sets the stage for a gripping tale of survival and exploration as you scavenge for resources, upgrade your skills, and delve deeper into the twisted corridors of the ship. Gameplay is a balanced mix of combat, puzzle solving, and resource management. The RPG elements come to the fore as you can specialize in various skills like hacking, psionics, or weapons expertise, allowing you to tackle challenges in multiple ways. The narrative is pieced together through audio logs, environmental clues, and interactions with Shodan, whose distorted, menacing voice becomes the soundtrack to your nightmares. The game skillfully uses its cyberpunk aesthetic to heighten the sense of isolation and dread, as you're confined within a high-tech environment where everything has gone awry. System Shock 2 is a masterclass in atmosphere, game design, and storytelling. It may be over 2 decades old, but it still stands as a quintessential cyberpunk experience that any fan of the genre should dive into. Number 7. Observer. Developed by Bloober Team, the same folks behind games like Layers of Fear, Observer takes you into a dystopian future where privacy is a thing of the past and corporations can even infiltrate your mind. You play as Daniel Lazarski, a neural detective known as an observer who can hack into people's brains to investigate crimes. Portrayed by the late Rutger Hauer, famous for his role in the cyberpunk classic Blade Runner, Lazarski's character adds a layer of authenticity and gravitas to the game. Set in a dilapidated apartment complex, the atmosphere is thick with tension right from the get-go. Unlike other entries that focus on action or strategy, Observer is all about unraveling a story, one neural interrogation at a time. As you dig deeper into people's minds, you're exposed to twisted, surreal landscapes that represent their fears, regrets, and darkest secrets. Observer delves into themes like identity, loss, and the ethics of technological invasion, all wrapped up in a grimy, neon-lit cyberpunk aesthetic. The story keeps you on the edge of your seat, feeding you just enough information to keep you hungry for more, right up to its shocking conclusion. If you're in the mood for a cyberpunk experience that swaps out guns and gadgets for cerebral psychological horror, then Observer is an experience you won't want to miss. It's a deep dive into the human mind, wrapped in a cautionary tale of a future that's all too possible. Number 8. Ruiner. Developed by Raycon Games and published by Devolver Digital, this is a title that knows exactly what it wants to be: a brutally challenging, fast-paced action game where style and substance go hand in hand. In Ruiner, you take on the role of a helmeted hero simply known as Puppy, on a mission to rescue his kidnapped brother. The setting is Renkok, a city oozing with corruption, ruled by the nefarious corporation Heaven. And let's just say, Heaven doesn't like you snooping around. What immediately stands out about Ruiner is its combat. It's intensely satisfying, featuring a blend of melee attacks, firearms, and special abilities that you can mix and match to suit your style. The game doesn't hold your hand. It expects you to adapt and improve as you face increasingly challenging enemies. Each encounter feels like a dance of bullets and blades, requiring quick reflexes and strategic planning. The game leans heavily into its cyberpunk aesthetic, with neon lights illuminating dark, grungy environments filled with futuristic architecture and imposing megastructures. Throughout your journey, you'll encounter a host of characters, each adding depth to the story and the world. The game touches on themes like corporate exploitation, personal freedom, and the dark underbelly of technological advancement. If you're looking for a game that offers relentless action, a gripping narrative, and an unforgettable atmosphere, Ruiner is one cyberpunk experience you can't afford to miss. Number 9. Hard Reset. Developed by Flying Wild Hog, this game is a love letter to the classic first-person shooters of the 90s, but wrapped in a shiny cyberpunk exterior. Set in a dystopian future where humanity is on the brink of extinction, you play as Major Fletcher, a soldier working for the CLN, tasked with defending one of the last remaining human cities from an army of rogue machines. The premise is straightforward, but it sets the stage for some of the most intense action you'll find in a cyberpunk game. Hard Reset's gameplay is all about speed and firepower. You're given an array of weapons that can be upgraded and modified, turning them into literal killing machines. We're talking plasma rifles, electric mortars, and railguns that can blast enemies into smithereens. The game encourages you to be aggressive, rewarding quick reflexes and strategic use of your arsenal. The game's environments are a stunning display of what a high-tech, low-life future would look like. Neon billboards, towering skyscrapers, and dark, grimy streets set the atmosphere, making you feel like you've stepped into a gritty, post-apocalyptic world. Levels are not just linear pathways to the next group of enemies. They're filled with interactive elements and destructible environments. You can shoot down walls to discover secret areas, or trigger environmental hazards to take out groups of enemies. It adds a layer of strategy to the mindless shooting, making you think twice before you pull the trigger. So, if you're craving a cyberpunk experience that cuts right to the chase and delivers action in spades, Hard Reset is the game for you. Number 10. Valhalla. Cyberpunk Bartender Action. Developed by Venezuelan indie studio Sukaban Games, this title offers a much-needed breather from the high-octane action and complex strategy we often see in cyberpunk games. Instead of battling rogue AIs or dodging bullets, you're mixing drinks and engaging in heartfelt conversations. You play as Jill, a bartender at Valhalla, a dive bar in the dystopian city of Glitch City. The gameplay is straightforward. Customers come in, you mix drinks based on their preferences or mood, and then you chat. Sounds simple, right? But it's within these conversations that the game's true depth lies. Valhalla is essentially a narrative-driven experience, and a compelling one at that. As you serve your patrons, from corporate hackers to android sex workers, you learn about their lives, their struggles, and the state of the world outside your cozy bar. It's through these dialogues that the game touches upon classic cyberpunk themes like societal decay, the impact of technology on human relationships, and the ethics of a hyper-capitalistic world. The game's pixel art graphics and chill electronic soundtrack perfectly complement its narrative style, lending a retro yet futuristic feel. It creates an atmosphere that feels intimate, like you're truly a part of this fictional world. What sets Valhalla apart is its focus on the everyday people living in a cyberpunk world, rather than the heroes or anti-heroes we often see. It's a refreshing take that offers plenty of social commentary, all while you play the role of an attentive bartender. It's like a slice-of-life anime set in a dystopian future. So if you're looking to explore the cyberpunk genre from a unique, down-to-earth perspective, Valhalla's cyberpunk bartender action offers a potent mix of storytelling, atmosphere, and emotional depth. Thanks for watching. For more gaming lists, hit subscribe and like this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.